Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is a new channel. What I'm trying to do is share my experiences about gardening in Houston area, zone 9A. I am not an expert by any means. I have no degree in horticulture. I just love gardening. I love plants, and I want to share my goods, my bads, my uglies with you. I have killed a lot of plants over the years. Started serious gardening in the last 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and have made a lot of mistakes. But over time, the mistakes are become much fewer, and things have turned out really well for the most part. Today, I'm going to plant a smoke tree. It's a smoke bush. It is called Royal Purple Smoke Tree from Monrovia, if you can see it. But this is what I'm trying to plant. I was looking for a smoke tree that would work in my zone, which is 9A. And this one says it should work for zones 4 through 10. And it needs full sun. Of course, I'm in Houston. I have a lot of areas that have full sun. Some areas are under shade. That's mostly from the house or partial shade. But this is a tree that I'm going to plant for the most part in full sun, maybe a little bit of afternoon shade. If you come with me, we have made a new bed. You'll see a lot of dead plants along the way. It's January, winter. We just had a freeze, so a lot of plants have died back. So we're trying to plant the tree here in this area, right next to the limelight hydrangea bush, the tree actually, and this is an area which just gets some afternoon shade from the pergola, but otherwise, as you can see, it's like out in the open in full sun. As you can see, this is the tree I'm trying to plant. It's dormant. It's a deciduous tree. I had it in a pot for the last week. I was looking for a good deal on the tree, which I happened to get. And because I think it was right before the freeze and the garden centers were trying to get rid of as many trees as possible before the freeze so they didn't have to cover it. I don't think this tree needs any cover, but that said, it's in a 3.5 gallon pot, so maybe. But I got the tree, kept it in the garage, but now it's out. I'm ready to plant it. I think the lowest we went was like, I think something in the mid-teens, but that was only for a brief few hours. It was mostly in the high 20s, mid-20s, mid-low to mid-20s. So we're planting this. This is a zone 4 hardy plant, so I'm thinking it's going to be perfectly fine, and it works for up to zone 10. So, and I'm zone 9A, so it should work for me. As I said, I told you before that I did plant a hydrangea, limelight hydrangea here. I do have an experimental peony, a tree peony that I'm trying out here. We'll see if it works out. So I'm going to plant it here. That'll be the third tree in this about maybe 15 feet stretch. So I'm going to plant it here, and that'll be the last tree here. If you look a little bit around the bed, you can see we have a little bit of like sugar snap peas here that are growing, and they survived the freeze. I just put some pine straw and a frost cloth, and it made it through the freeze. So I'm really happy about it. So as I said, I made a lot of mistakes, but most of the time things are working out well for me. That's all. And let's get going with this tree. I do use some starter fertilizer. It's not like a fertilizer for tree growth or like leaf growth. It's a fertilizer for the roots, for root developments. It's just Biotone. I have it in this little bucket, and these are my tools. I use a trenching shovel. This, we have had it for the last 3 years, and it works really well for me. And I do have a little small shovel, and that I got online, and this also works for me very well. Gardening is up to you totally. Whatever works for you, you should do it. There are no rules. Things just evolve with time, and just go with whatever works for you. One thing about here, I do have augers, a 5-inch is within a 9-inch auger, but I do not want to use it here because it's going to create a mess, and I really don't want a mess here. So I'm going to use the trenching shovel to make a hole, probably as about uh, hopefully twice as big as the pot. This is a big pot, as you can see. We do have drip irrigation set up here, but it is turned off now, and it has been turned off for at least the last 3-4 weeks. We sporadically turn it on and use it, but otherwise it's mostly turned off over the winter. We definitely need it in the summer. This is Houston, as I told you guys. It gets really, really hot here over the summer, especially the months of June through August are terrible. We used to live in California before, in the Bay Area, but I have gotten used to Houston weather over the last 10 years that we have been living here. 10 or so. Okay, here we go. The hole's made. I'm just trying to loosen up some of the bottom soil. The plant is dormant. Does look like it has a good root system. I'm trying to loosen it up a teeny bit. I think this should be okay. I think this was some freeze. Okay. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to put some biotone. That's good enough. Okay. Can you look at the angle? Is it good? The plant? Think so, right? Okay. We do have clay soil here, but most of our soil over the years has been heavily amended with compost. This used to be part of our lawn. So you can see bits and pieces of grass roots still in there, even though we removed the roots as far as possible, the grass. It rained all of last week, and on an average, we'll get rain at least a couple of days a week. There are some months where we get little, like maybe 1 day or 1-2 days every 2 weeks and over the summer. But winter and spring definitely get a lot of rain. So we don't need any supplemental watering. I'm not going to water the plant. The pot was watered yesterday, and the soil is so damp and moist that I think I'll be doing more harm than good if I water it. I'm going to keep this supporting rod there for now, but we'll tap the soil in a little bit, but maybe in a couple of days I'm going to let it go. already tapped the soil, mostly to remove the air pockets. And then we do have some forecast of rain coming up. I'm sure that's going to help. Okay. Okay. That one's done. So that's it, guys. This is what we wanted to do today. I just wanted to get this smoke tree in the ground. I think that the tree will be happier in the ground, better off than in a little than in a like a 3-gallon nursery pot. I think it's very cold hardy. It's going to do just fine. We're in Houston. We're not in like the zone 4, zone 5 winter with lots of snow. We hardly ever get snow, but I think it's going to be perfectly fine there. We'll follow up on this tree on how it's doing rest of the year in spring, summer once it leaves out. I'm super excited to see how it looks here. I love red or purple leafed trees, so we'll see.